Hello, we're back. We've watched episode 5 of season 49. And what
And
happened, Ben?
what didn't happen? A lot of stuff happened. Let's see. More Jawan drama because he took Savannah's water bottle, which I'm actually loving now, and I want to talk more about that later.
Okay.
But then they had the individual challenge. One from each tribe had to go and do a, what do you call that? There's a name for that, right? Is there a
Journey.
special name for it? Yeah. So they did a journey. So that was MC and okay. We need to discuss the decision that happened when Jason was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go," and they're all like, "He can't go. If he comes back and he's got immunity, we are screwed."
Yeah, we had some great faces from Sage. We had some chicken drama.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Lots of stuff.
yeah. And that challenge looked brutal.
Yeah.
Really, really hard. God,
Um,
I've got something on my glasses.
I can't believe you wouldn't sort this out before we start recording. I'll be the negative Nancy and say I haven't looked at any impressions yet of this episode though. I reckon at a very high level, people would go, "Yeah, that's what I thought had happened." Like what one of the tribe of two, or the group of two went last week, and yep, the other one went this week.
Yeah, I was hoping for something different. In fact, I was hoping that the other tribe would get sent to trouble against the Hina tribe, but
Even it
they
up.
did not. Sorry,
Or
they
Kelly.
were the ones who did it. Was Kelly. I
Yeah.
was hoping Kelly would get sent because I really like. It seemed like they were getting it ready to vote Shannon off. I'm like, yes, come on, you can do this. Get Shannon off that island.
Well, Shannon was one of the first people we saw, one of the first people, and she had a plan. She wants to take two people from each tribe to the end.
Yeah.
And was it Stephen that she said that to?
Yes, it was Stephen first, and then Stephen went to MC because they've got that bond. I really like this bond with Stephen and MC. I mean, I love MC with all my heart.
You say Shannon took it to him first, but surely if you're doing a 2-2-2, don't you only take it to one person? Does that mean that he was the only one that she was going to try to do this with? And yet he's just turned around and
gone straight to MC.
Yeah.
But we know that Shannon also went to Alex.
Mm.
Oh, and I think those are the only two that we know she went to. And Alex was all in until Stephen told him, "You just need to know you're not the only one she's saying this to." And then they went to MC, and Stephen went to Christina, and were like, "You need to know about this." And Christina was like, "Oh, I sort of like her.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was going to blow up because when I saw them about to tell her, I thought, "Oh, careful telling her," because she, we saw that she really connected with her over the spiritual stuff. But in her sort of talk to camera, she said, "Oh, maybe it's not going to work out."
Yeah, I suspect that they wanted to tell her, but they probably judged that just from her reaction that maybe we shouldn't say it. Because it felt like they were so on the edge of about to. You got to really watch out for that. Wait, what's her name again? I've forgotten her name again.
I don't know which one you mean.
Shannon. You've really got to watch it. Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong tribe. Oh my God, I've crossed over here. Hold on, what have I done?
Well, they crossed over as well.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, of course. Yeah, because I'm looking at the left column. Sorry, I'm supposed to be looking at the right column. Yeah. And there was the whole conversation between Sage, Alex, and who was the other one?
Oh yeah, she found some friends.
Yeah, where and it was Stephen. Was it Stephen?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, and she was just basically like, "Finally, you guys are seeing it. She's a shark. You need to watch out for her." Yeah, when she realized that Shannon has been going around saying her name, she's like, "Oh well, it's open season then, okay."
Yeah, there's a bit of seeing her sort of sitting by herself and feeling alone and feeling on the outs. But when she heard that other people were starting to have doubts as well, like she's like, "All right, can I be honest?"
Yeah, yeah, I liked it a lot, and and I liked that moment where Stephen and and Alex. Well, it was more Stephen. She was like, I'm over here, guys. I'm feeling a bit left out. And they were like, oh, yeah, sorry, we'll come over. And they just started talking to her. And I'm like, good. Include her in something. Jesus, what are you doing? You're going to need her, okay?
We might as well jump right towards the end while we're talking about Sage. You know, the moment she has at the end when Shannon walks off to go fill her water or whatever she's doing. And she sort of says, face. Yeah. Oh, well, where she sort of says to the tribe about, you know, I'm totally cool to, you know, be open up with you guys, and you know, Rizzo's got the idol, and has Shannon said anything about that? Like, she realizes she's got to fight for a spot. It's, you know, it's not pretty when you have to go against someone from your old tribe. It could come back and bite you later if it turns out, you know, that you were leaking information and that you got your other person voted out. But she's, you know, we've just seen on the other side what can happen if you lose a couple of tribals. So,
yep. Yeah, that was a brilliant move on her part, I think, especially because, and there was also the discussion that she was having with Shannon, where with Shannon, I don't know if she's really oblivious to the fact that Sage is not on board at all.
And she seems to just totally underrate her. Like, she doesn't seem to see her as a threat.
Yeah.
The bit where Sage said, you know, I can tell when people think I'm dumb or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that really does sort of fire up the underdog, you know, liking part of me. and her faces are pretty funny. Like, we got one in this episode and we got one in the coming up next week footage as well. I just can't wait till she gets caught out. If she ever gets caught out pulling one of those faces, because that kind of thing has happened before too, by the way.
Oh, has it?
Like, how awkward would that be afterwards if you sort of get caught out pulling a face to the camera?
So yeah, all of the Kelly stuff was quite interesting, I would say.
Well, one of the first things we see, which I thought might have been, you know, sort of signaling where we're going, is the first conversation that I wrote down was Savannah being like almost cocky to the camera. I forget what it was she said, but she was like, you know, think things are going pretty great. Sort of top of the world. And I forget exactly what she said, but it was like things are just going my way. And I thought, oh, geez, where's this episode going?
Yeah. And that's one of the things I really don't like about Savannah. There's something about her personality and the way she talks to people that makes me not like her.
I do know what you mean, and I definitely feel some of that too. Yeah, but there is a part of me that respects her for going after it, though. Like the fact that she's sort of, I don't know, she seemed genuinely interested in the end at potentially doing something, and she had that conversation with Nate about whether or not they went for Jawan instead. Some of it inspired by her not getting on with Jawan, obviously. But I sort of like that she's not just
laser focused on
taking it easy. Yeah. To be good, you've kind of got to be prepared to take a shot as well.
I was kind of annoyed, and they've done it a few times now, when they did the fake out with like, oh, well, maybe we'll go for Jawan. It's like, no, you're not going for Jawan.
Well, from an editor's point of view, some of these are probably a lot more likely to happen than others, but you know, you've kind of got to make the episode interesting, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I just think, oh, you idiots, just keeping Sophie around. You are so dumb.
You've kind of surprised me with this Sophie take a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just different to me. Like, I still quite like Sophie. I think she's.
I like Sophie. I think she's a really lovely person, and would be. And the reason she's still there is because she's so likable and easy to get along with.
But you think she's dead weight?
Everything about the actual show that they need her to do, she cannot do.
Yeah,
she can't do any of it.
They're probably going to only have to, I'm guessing, but maybe one other challenge where they're going to have her in it, and probably the episode after that they'll merge. So, and once they merge, she's unlikely to beat them in any individual immunity. So it's sort of it's at this point, it doesn't really matter about keeping your tribe strong necessarily.
Well,
And
and your point as well was where what do they gain by getting rid of it, really? Because she's going to go. She's definitely going to go later on.
I'm not convinced she is, by the way. But
oh, really?
yeah, I still reckon she could go far. Anyone who's had, like her and Alex, have both really had to fight. Their problem might be the opposite when they get a bit further in. It might be, okay, their story is too good, having come from the lower tribe.
Okay.
And that if we get to the end with one of these two, their story is too good.
They're definitely going to win. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get your point.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought of that. But let's talk about the Sophies actually, because the Hina Sophie, the Kelly Sophie made an appearance in this episode again.
Did she actually say anything?
Actually.
I know we had about
the second time we saw her,
camera shots of her. What did she say?
I don't remember anything she said, and for me, that's sort of like that's not good.
How about really when we got to the reward and Jeff said, I know you're really going to like this one.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
No bananas.
Well, let's talk about the voyage. Was that what it was?
The journey, yeah.
Journey, thank you. I knew I'd get there eventually. I know all the terminology.
It's the same.
Yeah. So, yeah, Nate and MC, best character. Oh, so we need to talk about the decision that Hina made about who would go. So Jason, knowing that he needs to prove himself, says, yeah, I'll go. And you know what? I think he would have been great. I actually think he would have done fantastic.
In carrying all those, do you reckon he's that sort of strong fit? Sort of hard to judge.
But so I don't think he's less strong or fit.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
But I think he's got that like determination, you know.
Okay.
He's always like given 100%, which is what I've always liked about him.
And he knows his back is against the wall as well, so he would have given it everything he could. Yeah,
exactly. So, and I was a little bit worried when I thought, oh no, MC against Jason, two of my favorite people. I don't like this. What if MC loses? What if Jason loses?
Yeah, he had to put his hand up basically, like, and they had to have someone counter really, because it's not 50-50 that someone comes back with an idol, you know, as we saw. But, you know, there's I don't know, what, a 1 in 3 chance or something when people go on things like this that they end up with an idol. And if he came back with an idol, it would be just game on, chaos.
Yeah, and you know what? I would have loved that if that had happened.
What did you think of Jawan seemingly
rigging the game, rigging the selection?
Yeah, and when he said he put it on top, do you think he just put it on top? Is that enough, or was he like holding the other two sort of in the lower section of the bag or something?
No, well, I think he put it on top, but then he doesn't know what Nate was going to do when he put his hand in, because if I put my hand in the bag, I usually swish things around a bit.
That's what I mean. Like, but was it really just that it was on top, or because he sort of had his fingers in there? Like, did he actually have the bag sort of folded underneath the white one or something with the two black ones? So
he must have. But whatever it was, it worked out. And Nate did get the white one, which is what Jawan hoped was going to happen, because the other choice was Savannah or Jason. So I don't think Savannah would have done well. And in fact, I was kind of hoping Savannah would go just to get some pie in her face. I was really hoping.
In a way, Jawan didn't really care though. He just wanted Jason not to go. He just wanted to be sure that Jason didn't have an idol, because based on the last episode, they were pretty sure that he didn't have an idol or he would have played it.
Yep. Well, now they know he didn't have one, because I'm pretty sure he would have played it today. So they go, and
yet he still didn't play his shot in the dark.
Yeah, well, because they'd convinced him.
Even if it's 50-50 though, wouldn't you do it? Like it's just.
I want someone to play their shot in the dark because I've never seen it played.
Yeah, actually, I'm just thinking about the numbers. So they had 6. So either it's it's pretty unlikely it's a 3-3 draw. So if they were going with him, it would be 4-2, but then he wouldn't use his vote and it would be 3-2. So he would probably be okay anyway. Like, it's unlikely that he loses the vote because he played his shot in the dark. I think he should have played it.
Maybe it's just like a combination of hunger, heat and everything, the
Yeah,
situation
maybe.
they're in, everything.
Yep.
Just not thinking right, not thinking.
And he got away with not
strategically.
playing it last time.
Yeah. But yeah, so Nate and MC's challenge started as here's a gigantic pile of sandbags, move them over to there. As they cleared enough sandbags, there was another part of the challenge underneath that notified them there's a hidden advantage in somewhere nearby. Well, I'm guessing that I wasn't really. There's obviously more that they're not saying about this than because how the hell? I mean, it's just like, okay, here's a gigantic island, find it. So, and it's until that timer runs out.
You can't see everywhere, yeah. They love putting in these kind of risk-reward sort of ones, or do you work together or work separately? Or can we tempt someone into try to go for an idol, even if it might be riskier? They love those sort of things on the journeys.
I think that on Merge, MC and Nate will be a combo to watch out for.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because I think they get on pretty well. And I think they're the same temperament. I think that's what I was trying to say.
Is it because
they're
MC,
sort of at the same level?
Is it because MC can burp the alphabet? Is that why?
I did like that. I was like, well, that's a skill, I guess. Maybe she should be friends with Sage.
Yeah.
And keep her blackheads in a jar.
I'm already in my head going with a lot of these matchups. I'm going, have these people met before? Like, I'm sort of not sure. I lose track of the tribes pretty quick.
There was something we skipped as well, which was no, I've forgotten what it was. Never mind.
I've got something written down that we passed over. Stephen doesn't like being slapped when he's woken up.
Wait, I completely missed that. Where did that come from?
He didn't actually get slapped. It was when Shannon went to tell him her plan. And he was just like, I just woke up. Like, she's playing so hard. Like, just, I haven't even had a coffee yet. Kind of, obviously not an actual coffee. But yeah. Sorry, that was going back. I think that's all my notes from before.
Okay.
So they're on the journey. They see the extra bit.
They decide, let's go look for this thing. And Nate is pretty much just like, there's no way I'm going to find this. I'm pretty sure she's going to find it. And he pulls a Swifty and says, time's running out. Time is clearly not running out.
They kind of agreed to leave only one bag. So yes. Whoever was left behind could finish it quickly if they needed to. Yeah. Yeah. Because if somebody does that, then neither of them lose their vote. So worst case scenario is that you don't lose your vote, but the other person gets an immunity.
Yeah, so out of that, I think Nate actually got the best situation that he could have. So he denied MC the advantage, whatever it might have been, and he gets to keep his vote. So, sure, I mean, MC got to keep her vote as well, but that was just part of the bargain.
Yeah, and I think she felt a little bit manipulated, but she was also like,
exhausted.
Yeah, if she had any beans left, she would have just run off in the forest and just tried to find it or something. But she was like, I'm stuffed.
Yeah. So the interesting thing after this was when they got back to their islands, they both left out the bit about the advantage.
Yeah.
Which I suspect is going to come back and bite them.
I thought that was going to be a bigger thing when, I forget who it was listening to to Nate's story. And it sounded like, what? It might have been Rizzo, was it? Was like, so there was nothing? There was no, it might have been Jawan. There was no upside? It was
just, that's right. Yeah.
Because that is unusual for there to be no upside.
Mm.
And really, they had to do so much work
really.
for status quo. Like Nate in the challenge later is stuffed, and
Yes.
he's obviously at the end of his tether when Rizzo's trying
When
to
he
tell him
said-
to lift a corner,
And he said, "Shut up."
yeah, like
Yeah.
Rizzo wasn't doing anything wrong, but Nate, he'd had a tough day. Let's be fair.
Yeah, I was really feeling for him, but MC pulled through. Just saying.
She's a machine, even though
She is.
she got bullied in the past for being
That's the thing
a
that I wanted to
muscly
mention.
woman. Yeah.
Yeah, which I find fascinating. I mean, people will just bully anyone for anything these days. It's just like, come on, she's amazing. How could you bully her? She's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
a
a big
very very different story for a girl or a woman to be muscly like that. And you can imagine the kind of things people might say.
Yeah, people are just mean, especially girls. Girls are mean to each other.
Yeah, boys are never mean to each other.
Okay, that's a fair point. But girls are mean to boys as well.
Boys aren't mean to girls.
Well, not in my opinion. I mean, I'm not.
Okay.
But maybe other boys are. I don't know. I don't know. By the way, I didn't have a huge social circle when I was growing up.
I think what we can agree is a boy probably wouldn't get picked on for being muscly.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame. I sort of feel for it. It's MC, so I will allow this story.
It was brief as well.
Yeah.
It was brief. No, I agree. I still really like her. I hope she does very well, or I hope she goes far. There's every indication that she's going to go far. There was just a brief bit in an early episode where she seemed on the outs of whatever tribe she started on, where it was sort of
when they were forming the 4-person tribe, and she was
Yeah.
the last one they went to. Yes.
But even then, I
she
think
was-
we talked about, I think she's going to go far. Like she just has that sort of aura about
because she
her.
figured it out straight away. She was just like, well,
Yeah.
if it comes down to the 4, they're going to take me out because I'm obviously the last one they
Yeah.
thought of.
Her biggest thing, I think, is that it's obvious how much of a threat she is in challenges. So her biggest thing is going to be, how does she survive after they merge? But she also still has the ability to go after an idol once she loses, right?
Yes. They just have to lose a challenge.
Because that was quite
there
an
was one
interesting
part-
bit. Maybe that was what you were about to say. Where that's right. When Sage was talking about how Rizzo got the idol, and she was like, "Oh, actually, that totally rings true because that's what it said about the idol that I'm doing." So she knew it was true. Sorry to stop you.
That wasn't what I was going to. No, I apologize. That wasn't what I was going to say. What I was going to say was, I think it was after the challenge where they got back to their camps, and there was a conversation going on, and that conversation made me realize she's running things on this tribe. That is dangerous. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about MC now that it looks like she's in control of this tribe.
Go either way.
I hadn't really.
You'd follow
picked up
her,
on
right?
that.
You'd
Oh, I
follow
totally
her
would.
into battle.
Yeah, I'd follow it off a cliff. Yeah. I'd follow her anywhere. I really would. I think she's like really charismatic. She's got a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah,
And she's great at challenges.
yeah, and it seems like her and Steven could go a long way too.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, I really like that bond that they formed in episode 1 is still just as strong. There's been no question. Like the whole time they've been really honest with each other and just like, yep, us too. Yeah, and actually even Steve in early on in like episode 1 or 2, I thought, oh, I'm not sure about this Steven guy, but as time goes on, I'm like, actually, there's more to this guy than I thought. I mean, he killed a friggin' chicken this episode. Let's talk about that.
this rocket scientist guy, or what was he? Was that what he was? It was something like that.
Yeah, and he and Alex kill a chicken, but it's basically him who kills it.
Yeah, and neither of them want to do it. Like, neither of them are being the machismo.
Yeah, and I like that I thought Alex was actually going to throw up or pass out for a second.
I really like Alex as well.
I do too.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't had quite... I don't know. people might disagree
He's
with
had
that.
a lot of time.
No, he's definitely had time, but whether he's sort of getting that same glow about him. Yeah, no, I really like him.
Yeah, actually, honestly,
Okay,
look, I haven't watched a lot of Survivor,
yeah,
but I've watched a few seasons. I would say this season has more people that I like on it than any other season that I've ever watched.
Of the two that you've watched.
3, actually. This is the third one.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of people on this who I'm like, yeah, I really like this person, and I'd not that it matters how I feel who wins, but I'd be happy if one of these people won.
That's what Uncle Jeff. That's what Uncle Jeff wants. That's why they do all these backstories.
Yeah.
What was I about to say?
We should probably talk about the challenge.
What were we just talking about? There's something else. Forget.
Sorry. If you remember,
it's okay.
We can go back to it.
Yeah, it'll come back.
Yeah. So the challenge.
I was going to say was in the challenge. Yeah. It was Alex who was shooting the hoops.
Yes.
So, I mean, he lost and lost and lost on that other tribe, and yet now he's won 2 in a row, and he, was a key contributor in this one.
Yep, he was the one doing the hoops at the end.
He deserves being safe.
Yeah, so this challenge, honestly, this is, in my opinion, so far, the most physically demanding challenge they've had to do. So there was this gigantic bamboo cage that they had to swim into
first,
and then carry.
Mm-hmm. And it would have been even heavy in the water, but then as it comes more and more out of the water, it feels
because at least in the water it's slightly buoyant.
Yeah.
It's bamboo. But yeah, oh my god. Oh, and that's right. Hina accidentally left a sandbag tied to the freaking thing as well.
It would be so easy to do, but oh my god, you'd just be kicking yourself, wouldn't you?
So at one point they had to put it over this little arrow thing, and then they had to dig under it, and one person had to crawl through. And I actually thought Hina did a pretty good job of catching up, considering there was that. They were ahead at first, but then Sophie happened, and yep, good old Sophie.
You're so harsh on Sophie. Sophie who's eaten coconuts for 10 days. Yeah.
I am being harsh. And you know what? That's a good point. She hasn't had a meal for like how long?
You're allowed to be harsh. It's part of the fun. But
it wasn't only her, to be fair. But because I think was it Jawan? Yeah, Jawan was like struggling, but then they sort of got a second win, and Jawan was like really pushing them, which was nice to see.
But I'm sure Matt was watching, going, "Well, if you had kept me instead of keeping, some of these weakies, I could have been lifting that thing. I could have
lifted that on my own.
Yeah, I could lift it onto the carousel, put it on the trolley, wheel it out to the plane.
So I liked the structure, the first basically part of this whole challenge, just because it has to be a team thing. There's any weak element is going to be blindingly obvious.
Yeah, the only one you can get away with is that one tribe gets to sit someone out. So and obviously Christina sat out and tried to find an immunity clue under the bench that I was sort of explaining to you in the chat. I don't know if you saw that or if you were too busy.
Oh, no, I saw that, and I didn't see you mention it, but I saw it, and I'm like, oh, she's trying to find a bloody immunity item, isn't she?
Yeah.
Have they had one under the seat before?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That has happened before. And so forever after, people always look under benches when they sit out.
But yeah, it looked brutal. I'm not jealous of what they had to go through. So the person they had to dig a hole so that one person could go through and release a ball. And then there were 3 hoops that one person had to shoot a ball into.
It didn't look that easy, and yet the challenge didn't go on very long. I don't know whether they edited a lot out, but they seemed to actually get it pretty quick.
Yeah, Alex killed it, basically. Alex was amazing. He just really, really did a good job. I think... Obviously, it takes a few shots to gauge, but also they're worn
and they're at
out
different
from doing
heights as well. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it's just really, really tough. And Jason was the one on Hina who crawled under. I thought he did a good job. He's obviously stuffed as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Rizzo got one in.
Yep, and he was actually the first one to get one in, and I'm like, oh, maybe they'll do it because I'm this whole time I'm thinking to myself, yes, Kelly lose because I want Shannon gone. But no, unfortunately, Kelly won, and Hina sent off to tribal council again. And
I want to ask
Savannah,
brief pause here before we finish the challenge. Did you take a bit more notice of some of the camera work, especially during some of the challenges? We sort of had these underwater shots of them all, pushing the bamboo thing along.
Yep.
We had a section where they sort of did slow-mo. They had people like sweat pouring off people's brows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really like the work that they do during the challenges. I'm so invested during these challenges.
And the music, I must admit, I pay more attention to these, having listened to that On Fire podcast where he talks a lot about the photography and the sound and everything, and particularly at challenges. They know where the tension points are going to be. So he talks about how they have, like, as if they're untying knots and things, they know they're going to be able to get a close up of things there, right?
Yep.
So, and they sort of, when the people are testing the challenge beforehand to make sure it's okay, they're sort of testing all their camera work and drone shots and stuff at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny you would mention that because I can't remember exactly when it was, but there was one point in this episode where I thought, that's an interesting music choice.
There was one.
I can't.
Was it when they came back from an ad? It was sort of doing that quirky music when they came back from an ad one time, and it was when all the the millennials were kind of having their chat. And Rizzo was talking about ASMR and about something else, and Nate was just sort of looking bemused again, like he wasn't following the conversation. Was it that bit?
I can't actually remember. I don't think it was, but I can't remember for sure. I just remember thinking to myself, "Oh, that's an interesting music choice. I wonder why they chose that."
Yeah, they do things very deliberately. Yeah.
Yeah. But as we discussed, Hina lost the challenge again. That's now the second time in a row losing a challenge, and Savannah has her little moment. And I'm not a fan of Savannah just because she's, I don't know, just something about it rubs me the wrong way. I'm sure outside in the real world, I would be like, she's actually a nice person, but there's just something about how pushy she. We don't like tall poppies in Australia. We don't like people who stand out. It's probably nothing to do with her and everything to do with me.
Oh, my
anyway.
And it'll kind of be cool if someone who you don't really like goes far as well, because it'll keep it interesting.
Will it? I'll just be, no, they can't go. Can't you see how bad they are? Get rid of them.
You need villains too.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so she has a little sob story about, it's so hard. And I'm totally thinking this whole time, you're standing next to Sophie.
But she says that.
It's just like, you've got no idea how hard it is. Boo-hoo, you've gone 2 days without a flint now. Jesus.
But she says that. She says, I realise I'm, standing beside someone who's, done nothing but eaten coconuts for 10 days instead of 3. Yeah, so she gets it.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So they go back and all of the Hina tribe are just like, yeah, except Jason, obviously, are like, yeah, we're going to get rid of Jason. But we have to convince him that we're not going to, so that he doesn't do his whatever it was. What was it called?
Shot in the Dark.
Shot in the Dark. That's the one, yeah.
So Jawan goes off to talk Pokemon with him, and that's what the millennials were talking about.
Yep. And I think they did a fantastic job on him, especially Savannah. She just convinces him so much. Oh, you're integral, because when the merge happens, you're going to be the bridge, between the two tribes. And it's just like you are playing up to him, and he buys it hook, line, and sinker. I was just like, no, Jason, don't buy it. Don't be an idiot.
I saw you saying that. Although she was doing that, I got the impression. It would be interesting to see what other people think. I got the impression that she was actually exploring her options then. Like, I know she didn't take it, but I think she was feeling stuff out. Otherwise, I don't know why she would have had that conversation with
Nate.
Nate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so straight after that, she has a conversation with Nate about, no, you know what? And Nate is like, so they keep cutting to Savannah saying, oh, you know, I don't want to be seen as the person who's driving things, even though she totally is.
Which is
the
smart,
person
by the way.
things.
That's another reason. Like, she knows what she's doing. That is smart.
Yeah, so I don't think she's doing a very good job of not seeming like she's driving things, because it totally seems like she's driving things.
I'm trying to think now how much of what we have seen of her saying what she's saying is to camera versus in the tribe. Oh no, well she does complain about Jawan a lot to other people actually. So yeah, it's not it's not all just a camera.
So yeah, but eventually they're just like, we go to tribal council. There's a lot of talk. And
before we get to tribal, you've missed Chicken Gate.
Oh yes. Okay, all right. So Kelly get back to camp, and immediately Christina's like, I hope we're eating one of them.
And just so you know, this is a tried and true thing that has come up in many seasons. It used to happen a lot in the old seasons. They sort of haven't done it so much recently, but it used to be every season, every second season, there'd be a chicken reward, and it was this ongoing thing about how long do we keep them, or do we let them, lay eggs for, especially in a longer game, right? Do we let them lay eggs for days and days before we start killing them? Now, obviously, they go the rooster here, so that's not a problem. But
yeah. So Alex and Stephen are the ones that do it, and all the girls of the tribe head off to the beach where they can't hear it or anything. And
I think they could hear it.
Yeah, and they're all like, you know, Sage is like, you know, I get it. You know, I'm not a vegetarian. I eat chicken, but you know, I grew up with chickens as well, and it's a bit weird, and I get it, and I totally sympathize with the situation. Like,
me too.
And the guys are like, if I was one of the guys, I'm like, I'm not doing this. If you guys want chicken, you have to do this.
Yeah, and the producers are very deliberate in, you know, we see two different conversations of people where they're, you know, kind of voicing, you know, I know I'm a hypocrite if you know, for feeling bad about this, but you know, what would you do? And yeah, I think it comes off sounding like the producers are almost protecting themselves against criticism that I'm sure they still get about, you know, why do you include this? But at the same time, it's like, well, yes, it's been included in it to up the entertainment of the show, but also to pretend, you know, how many you know, chicken deaths in the world related to food. You know, is it really such a? In a way, it's sort of highlighting an issue with it,
yes,
rather than So they're very deliberate about showing people saying that.
So we don't know exactly who did what, but it's seen, the way they edited it made it seem like Stephen did most of the preparation. And honestly, surprised me. I mean, yeah, he didn't want to do it, but he was just like, oh, it's got to be done, and he just went ahead and did it. And and Alex didn't handle it well, which I completely understand, because I would have probably thrown up or passed out myself. In fact, I wouldn't have even been there. I would have just been like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to think about it. But that's the thing with me, knowing that it happened, I wouldn't be able to get it out of my mind.
Maybe they can't.
Yeah.
I guess just to let you know, this is kind of unusual that it happens so quickly. Usually there is at least one person in the tribe, and it's not always who you think it might be, but there's usually one person who's like, we are not doing this. I'm not letting this happen. Or I am really going to judge someone who is going to do this. But this one, it was like, nope. Everyone's like, I don't want to be the one to do it, but we are eating. Yeah.
I liked when Christina said, I don't like birds, but we're eating that thing, right?
I'd forgotten she doesn't like birds.
Which I find funny.
Did you enjoy the bit on the next episode where they're chasing a chicken?
Yes, I look forward to that. Revenge of the chickens.
That's another tried and true Survivor thing. People chasing chickens and they're very hard to catch in the underbrush.
When they won the chickens, all I could think was, I can't wait to see somebody running around on the island after the chickens. But yeah,
how about the bit when they sort of realised they're like, oh, I wish they hadn't to see that. Like, we just did it right in front of the other chickens.
Yeah. Yeah, which is what I was thinking the whole time. It's like, you literally just killed the chicken in front of all the other chickens. Oh. Maybe that's why they run away.
Yeah. They both seem like nice guys, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, so Hina go off to tribal council. There's a lot of chit chat, but Jason gets voted off. The predicted happens. The expected happens.
Yeah. And the only kind of misdirection we get is Jawan sort of, talking about being anxious and just some of the moments where he doubts himself and all the rest. Yeah.
And I quite enjoyed Savannah's, oh, it's okay, even though she's like, I don't like you because you touched my bag twice. And I touched my bag and my water bottle.
And keep drinking out of my water bottle.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to talk about the thing that now. I messaged you a couple of times about this, but I really hope he just keeps fucking with it. I'm pretty certain
he's not doing it deliberately.
I know, it's just been an accident that just happens to be her both times, but I really want him to keep fucking with her until she just boils over and loses it, and everybody just sees how friggin' unhinged she is. Because I don't know about you, but she's getting to the point. She's not too far away from completely losing it, I think.
And who's he going to have to back him up? Because he hasn't switched tribes. He's been in the majority the whole time. He was part of the 4, and then when they switched, he was part of the majority again. So if she starts coming after him,
he's gone.
Yeah, unless after merge, other people want a number and they pick him up on the other side.
Yeah, unless they they start winning challenges, which with Sophie, I just don't see how that's going to happen.
And yet we've kind of seen him vibe with 2 different people so far, and one of them was Jason that just went. And the other person he kind of vibed with or was more in awe of was Nate, and I don't know that Nate reciprocated necessarily.
No, Nate does not reciprocate it at all.
So Jawan really seems on the outs. I'm not sure who is going into...
Do you think he realises he's on the outs? Surely he does.
I think he does. I mean, he said it himself. He said it himself, right? That he felt a bit on the bottom.
Right, he did. Yeah, so I just don't understand why surely he knows getting rid of Jason, he's next.
Yep. But what else can you do?
That's true. Just hope for something to happen.
You've just got to, you win the next challenge, you get to merge, and then kind of anything can, for anything to happen, you then have to start doing moves. You can't just get there working the bottom. But
why do you think nobody is putting Sophie's name up? Like I said, she's lovely. Do you think that's all it takes to avoid being...
because on one side you're sort of like, well, it makes sense to leave her because you want to weaken the other major majority, right? That's against you, the original Hina, was it? Yep. But on the other side, if you vote Sophie, who have you pissed off really? What, Alex? Maybe not, and other people might feel sorry for her, but they're not going to be angry about it or whatever. Whereas, they voiced a couple of times, oh, is this going to start a war? Which they said a lot, but normally that doesn't stop people. Like, people might not like it, but if you go in with the numbers, that's good enough. Actually, let me think about that. What are we at the moment where we were 7-7? Oh, it was 1, 2, 4. So it's now 1, 0, 4. And 1, 2, 4. I'm just trying to think about.
You're talking about the old Uli Hina.
Yeah, so on the tribe that just went out, there are 4, but the 4 includes Jawan, and there's still
there's 5. 5. Sorry. There's 5
5
original
including,
Uli
yeah,
still,
sorry, 5 including
and there's
Sophie.
4 original Hina because there were more Hina.
Yeah. 5, yeah, and 2
Yeah,
on the other
none of the
side
Uli tribe have been
is
voted off.
7. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about if, I mean, obviously the merge isn't happening, but at the moment, though,
There's 6. There's 6 of the original Uli and 4 of the original Hina left. Yeah, so they voted off 2 of the Hina now. But yeah, I mean, I think it was MC or Christina who said, "Oh, it looks like they're going after the old Hina." And I mean, this is just going to solidify that they went after Jason. So
yes. But on the other
But,
side, there's 4 of them. For that, yeah, they haven't got anyone else to match up with. I'm just trying to think if there's still a majority
and the 2
overall.
from Uli are Sage and Shannon.
Hmm.
Yep, it's interesting.
So really, even without Sophie, there's 6, and with Sophie, there's Uli would be 7 of 12. 7 of 12. Yeah, okay. So even if they get rid of an Uli now, it's 6 of 12, and they're even. Yeah, they're really in a pretty good spot, Uli, now, just numbers wise. The only thing is that, they might drop Jawan, or Jawan might defect.
Yeah, and if I was him, I totally would, because he must know that they're going to come for him next. I would just try anything I could. So I know I mentioned it in the chat that we were having, but when we went to Tribal Council, all I could think the whole time was there are still 6 people from the Uli tribe. Sorry, not
because we were talking about other Sophie, about Quiet Sophie.
Yeah, so basically 6 people who used to be on Hina and Uli who are now on Kele have never been to Tribal Council.
Yeah.
On episode 5. That's bizarre, right?
At the end of episode 5. Yeah. Yes. It does happen a bit in this new era, and it's part of what some people don't like about it. Yeah.
What's going to make things interesting when these people finally do go, because it's going to just be like, oh, this is completely new for them, and they're just
they can be a bit green, yeah.
Yeah.
Or they do irrational things.
To that. Yeah, and I like people being irrational.
Or even if they're good, it does come up in final tribals. People say, like, well, what do you mean you played a great game? You didn't even have to do anything strategic with the votes until halfway through the game. So it means they survive longer, but they don't actually have many good stories to put on their resume from the first half of the game.
Maybe they should throw the next challenge. What do you reckon?
They could
take the opportunity to get rid of Shannon.
Yeah, they could. But would they though? Wouldn't they just try to? Wouldn't they just try to even up? Well, they're not going to even up the score anyway, or even at best. No. They're gonna be outnumbered anyway.
Actually, that's a good point. So even if, say, they did lose the challenge and they got rid of Shannon, who would they get rid of after that?
Mind you, I'm assuming that the merge happens after that. It might not. I mean, they can change that stuff around.
The other Sophie, that's who they'd get rid of.
I think she'll be one of the first whenever she goes up, just because I feel like they would have made more of a. They would have given her more airtime if she had.
Yeah, she's very
saying it at all.
Unnoteworthy.
Even with all that stuff going on with the chicken and everything there, we still don't get a word out of her, right? She's really under-edited for a US season.
Yep. But there we go. So Jason's gone, which is a real shame. I quite like Jason. Let me have a look at the people who have gone so far. Okay, so out of all the people who have gone, I like Jeremiah. I really like Jason. I thought Matt was fine.
Jason just got unlucky with he was so good at the puzzles and
yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked his enthusiasm, he really wanted to be there, and he was like giving it his all. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was really nice when Jake left. Like he genuinely seemed nice.
Yep. All right. That's all I've got to say. Do you have anything else?
No, that's all. So what are we?
Great.
5. There's normally about 13 episodes, I think, in a US season.
Nearly
so,
halfway.
Yeah.
I'm loving it still. Don't you worry. I'm all in. And I did for the internet. I did tell Michael that I actually watched Jeff Has a Podcast episode.
Rob has a podcast.
Oh yeah, one of them. You know, I obviously big fan. Big fan I am. And it was with Ken Huang, who was like from a much earlier season. And he was on to talk about Jason. So it's just such a shame that Jason's gone now. But even Ken was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be. If they go to Tribal Council again, I'm pretty sure Jason's gone. But yep, sure enough, he's gone.
If you want Survivor content, there's lots more of it out there.
We are the Survivor content, Michael.
Oh, yeah. All the loyal fans.
Yep. But there we go. Until next time, everybody. Next week's episode comes soon.
All right. See ya.
Bye.